to find out the diameter of the column and height of the column. Okay, then we have to design the internals of the column, especially tray design and downcomer design. So these two are the components of internals. Apart from that, we have to do the mechanical design of these things and nozzle designs, inlet nozzle, outlet nozzle, okay, those things. Okay. So during design of column, in the estimation of column diameter, it's purely based on the flooding condition. Okay. So to calculate, to find out sorry, the flooding velocity, we have to calculate the flow parameter and capacity parameter. So these two parameters are being calculated by fixing the value of tray spacing. Once the tray spacing is being fixed, then we can calculate this capacity parameter, or you can say Soderbrunn constant CSB. Okay. So we have some limitations to use this CSB. So we have so many things. This wall height should be 15% of your tray spacing. Okay. Then your AH to a whole area to active area. We should maintain some ratio. Okay, and the system should be non-foamy, those things. So we have to maintain all these things. Okay, so once we calculated the CSB, you can calculate the flooding velocity. So flooding velocity, if you know, we can calculate the net area based on this flooding condition. So the net area, we have the relationship between net area, cross-sectional area and downcomer area. That is A net is AC minus 1 time of downcomer area. Again, this downcomer area plays major role because once you fix the downcomer area, you can fix this LW by D, which means length of the wire plate to diameter of the column. Okay, so downcomer area increases means your LW by D also increases, because the length of the wire plate increases, your area available for downcomer will increase. Okay, so we have to strike the balance between these. Normally this LW by D can be 0.65 to 0.85 times of your column diameter. Okay, apart from that, the corresponding this downcomer area AD will vary from 5% to 15%. Most of the cases we will select this LW by D is 0.77, which is equivalent to 12% of your cross sectional area of column, that is downcomer area. Okay, so once you calculate the the AD and AC, then you can calculate the cross sectional area. From the cross sectional area, you can calculate the column diameter. Okay, so this is to be done the top conditions of your column and bottom conditions of the column. So whichever higher, that can be taken as the diameter. This has to be done like this. Okay, so once it is being done, then we have to verify the other conditions. So this is assumed tray spacing. We have calculated the column diameter. Okay, so then once you found the DC, then select the column diameter to the nearest standard 1.2 meters. Okay, 2 meter, 1.8 meters, 2.4 meters, like that. Okay, so you can fix it. Once you fix it, you have to check the other conditions, whether again you have to check it, because this flooding conditions normally the operating velocity will be 80 to 85% of your flooding velocity. Okay, so you can do this calculations and verify, validate it. Okay, then you have to check the percentage entrainment, that is permitted to 0.1 fraction, or you can say 10%. Okay, so kg of liquid droplet carried to the kg of liquid flow rate. Okay, that is the ratio that you can. Okay, then you have to check the weeping, entrainment, everything you have to check. Then you have to find out the sorry. Then you have to check this pressure drop in the column. Okay, by calculating this HW, HOW, then HR residual pressure drop, then column dry pressure drop. When you operate the column with the dry vapor flow rate, then you have to estimate the pressure drop. Drop per column. Okay, so here we are neglecting the inlet nozzle, outlet nozzle pressure drop, because the value of inlet nozzle, outlet nozzle pressure drop due to inlet nozzle and outlet nozzle are negligible. Okay, so you can calculate the delta P. Okay. Finally, you have to check the downcomer backup. So downcomer backup, that is your you can say this what I this HDC and HAPRON area HAP, you have to calculate that HAP is normally HW minus 5 to 10 mm. Okay, then you have to calculate this LT plus HW by 2. The normally that is LT is tray spacing, HW is wear height. Okay, so half of this value, your HDC should be this HB should be always less than your LT by HW. So HB, you know that how to calculate the value of.
Sir?
Yes.
Hello. Are you sharing your screen, sir?
No, I didn't share the screen. Just I am referencing whatever.
Okay.
Okay. Next will be a problem. Okay. So then you have to check the residence time. So this residence time normally should be greater than 3 seconds. Okay, 3 to 5 seconds. So we have to give a minimum 3 to 5 seconds. Then only we will get a proper vapor liquid disengagement at the top of the downcomer, and the clear liquid will flow over the successive tray. Flow over to the successive tray. Okay, so this HB you can calculate based on HW value. HOW is the clear liquid height above the wear plate. Okay, liquid crust above the wear plate. Then HT and HDC. So you have to use appropriate equations to calculate these things. Okay. So now we move to a problem. I share you the slide. So the problem is design a sieve tray column for the distillation of acetic acid water system. The given system is acetic acid water system. We have to design a sieve tray column for the purpose of distillation. Okay, so we have to separate acetic acid from acetic acid water system. Feed contains 80% of acetic acid and 20% of water by mass. Okay, so here the weight percentage is given by continuous distillation at atmospheric pressure. So the column is operated at atmospheric pressure condition. Concentration of water in bottom products should not be greater than 50 ppm. So the water concentration is very small, that is around 50 ppm. Okay, it should not be greater than 50 ppm. So they have given maximum concentration of water at the bottom of the column. The top product contains 80% water and 20% acetic acids. Okay, the feed is at 30 degrees centigrade. The feed rate is 30 degrees centigrade. It's given. Okay, then apart from that, they have given some more data. I think they have given feed composition, that is 80% acetic acid and 20% by water. It's given in the problem. Here you can convert in terms of mole weight percentage also. So if you convert it, that would be around 54.55% acetic acid and 45.45% water. This is the feed composition. So I think you know how to convert this weight percentage into mole percentage. So you take bases, then convert them into moles using molecular weight, then calculate total moles, then you can find out the mole percentage of acetic acid and water. This is simple calculation that you have studied in your chemical process calculation, and subsequently you used in mass transfer operations. Okay. Mole fraction of water in distillate, that is XD, is 0.9302. That is given. That's given in the problem. Okay, that is a point. Sorry, yeah, it's 80%. No, if you convert it, you will get it 0.9302. That is also given in the problem. Okay. So XF, how will you calculate? 20 by 18 divided by 20 by 18 plus 80 by 60. So you have to take basis 100. Okay. So molar mass of acetic acid is 60. So molar mass of water is 80. So using this you can calculate the value of XF. Okay. So I think you know how to calculate this. So how will you get this? This XF you can calculate 20 acetic acid, mole fraction of acetic acid, or mole fraction of water in feed. You can say that is 20 by 18. This is a 20% of water by mass. So 18 is the molar mass of water. So 20 by 18 plus here 80 by 60. So you can calculate this value, that is 45.45. Similarly, XD you can calculate, that's around 0.9302. So mole fraction of water in bottom product, how will you calculate? That is, it's given 50 ppm, should not be greater than 50 ppm. So if you see this value is very small. So that is 50 into 10 power minus 6 divided by 18 divided by again 50 into 10 power. The same value will come here. Remaining is 1 minus 50 into 10 power minus 6 by 60. So 1 minus 50 into 10 power minus 6 divided by 60. That is molar mass of acetic acid. So you will get around 1.666 into 10 power minus 4. Okay. So this is the way. Then you have to find out the Q line. Okay. So Q line, what is Q line actually? How will you define the Q line? Any idea?
Depends on the nature of feed, whether it is saturated or cold feed or.
Yeah, correct, exactly. So how will you calculate this Q value? Actually, what is significance of Q? As I said, it depends on the nature of liquid. So, okay, so you may have 5 different feed conditions like this, correct? So these are all 5 different conditions. So which one is a saturated vapor? Which one is saturated liquid? Which one is
saturated vapor is last one.
What is this? Horizontal one?
The vertical one is saturated.
Vertical one is saturated vapor.
Liquid.
Saturated vapor or liquid? Vertical one.
Liquid.
Horizontal one, vapor. This is mixture. This is superheated vapor. This is subcooled liquid. Okay, so different conditions. Okay, so here you can define this Q like the amount of heat. Normally, how will you define it? Amount of heat required to convert How will you define it? Anyone? Heat required to convert the feed from its condition. Okay, we have to supply the heat. Okay, to convert the feed from its condition to saturated vapor divided by molar latent heat of vaporization. That's the way to represent the Q. Okay, so this is the way you can write, or you can write Q is equal to Hg minus Hf. Okay, so this is the feed enthalpy. You are converting this feed to saturated vapor. Okay, so this is by latent heat, that is Hg minus Hl. Okay, Hg minus Hl. So this is your latent heat, because this will be saturated condition, this will be also saturated condition. That's why you called as lambda. So from this you can find out the value of Q. So in this problem, the Q value is given directly, or you have to find out these values Hg, Hf, then you have to find out the Q value. Okay. So the reflux ratio here it's given, or what you should do, you have to calculate the minimum reflux ratio and you have to find out. How will you do that? What is the first step in McCabe-Thiele method? First you have to draw the vapor liquid equilibrium curve, okay, using the VLE data for the system, acetic acid water system. So you have to get the vapor liquid equilibrium data, then you have to mark the points XD, XF and XW on diagonal line. Okay, then you have to mark this XD, ZF, or you can say XW on diagonal line. Then draw the Q line. Okay, the equation of Q line I think you know, that is Y is equal to Q by Q minus 1 times of X. This is the slope, minus ZF divided by Q minus 1. This is your intercept. Okay. Now you have to, once you position these things, then you draw the Q line. Okay. Using this equation, so Q can be calculated using these values. So once you know the Q line, then you can, because this it starts from X equal to Y, that is ZF point, and slope is Q by Q minus 1. Okay. So we know that Q is the heat required to convert the feed from its condition to saturated vapor to the latent heat of vaporization, molar latent heat of vaporization. Then you have to calculate the R minimum. Okay. So once you know the R minimum, excuse me.
Oh, sorry. ரிசப்ஷன் வந்து வந்துருங்க வரவும் முடியல எல்லாம் முடிச்சு வச்சுட்டு எல்லாம் எனக்கு யூஸ் ஒண்ணுமே தெரியலையா இல்ல மரம்லாம் வேற ஒன்று மறைச்சிருக்கேன் யார் விட்டாவது நைட் 9 மணிக்கு போய் கட்டினா என்ன ஆகுது
கால் பண்ணணும்னு நினைச்சேன். சரி, மழை எல்லாம் பேசிட்டு
மாட்டிடுச்சு வந்துருங்க
கண்டிப்பா
ஃபேமிலியோட வந்து
போட்டிங்களா? கண்டிப்பா. தேங்க்ஸ் ஃபார் சாரி. So then you have to determine the minimum reflux ratio Rm. So you know the equation, that is the operating line equation, Y equal to Rm by Rm plus 1 into X plus XD by R plus 1. That is your intercept. Okay, so once you know this, then you can calculate the R minimum, then you can modify the R actual. So what should be the R actual value? What should be the R actual value normally?
1.22 to 1.5 times of R minimum.
1 point, yeah, you can go up to 2 times also based on the system. Okay, so 1.5 to 2 times you can go. So R actually is you can select 1.5 to 2 times of RM. Then you can calculate the new value of XD by R plus 1 for new value of R. Okay, then you can mark the new line. Then you have to go for 2 sections. You will get distillation column means you may have 2 sections, that is stripping section then and
Enriching section.
enriching section. Yeah. Okay, so this is 45-degree line. So this is your equilibrium. Okay, so this is equilibrium. Now then you have to mark the operating line. Okay, so Q line you have to mark it. So whichever fits that you can select, then find out this, then adjust, go for new thing. Okay, new line. So this would be your which one will be on the top, XD by RM plus 1 or XD by R plus 1?
Pardon, sir?
Actually, this intercept XD by RM plus 1 also you have, then RM is replaced by R. Okay.
Oh,
So
actual will be below, sir. Actual will be below.
Actual will be below. Correct. So actual will be below. Okay. Now you have 2 different sections: enriching section and stripping section. Okay. So this gap will say how many number of stages that you can calculate, because this is your equilibrium line. Now you have operating line. So you McCabe-Antille method, you have to go by step method. So you can proceed that and you can calculate the number of stages required in the stripping section and enriching section. Then you can also find out the feed stage. So these are all the things that you have studied there. Okay, so step by step construction. What is the meaning of this step by step construction? Why every time you are touching equilibrium and again you are touching operating line, again you are going to your equilibrium line, again you are coming to operating line? What is the reason?
Each stage is in equilibrium, sir.
Yeah, each stage we are assuming that the vapor leaving the particular tray and is in equilibrium with the liquid leaving the particular tray. That's the meaning. Okay, that's why every time you starts from our operating line to equilibrium line, again you are coming to operating line. That will give one full stage. Okay. So you can calculate the number of theoretical equilibrium stages required for the desired separation. Okay, or you can use sometimes what will happen, these portions, especially this case here, if you see the concentration is very low. Okay, so the number of stages required to get 100 ppm or 1000 ppm is less, but here it would be, and for getting the very pure product you will get more number of stages. Okay, so here it would be very close. Here your operating line and your equilibrium line will be very close, so you may require many number of stages, especially in this portion, this point. Okay. So this is the point that you have to remember. So you can use so many equations, especially here in this case it's happening in the stripping section. So you can use Robinson, Gilliland correlation, so many correlations available. Okay, so enriching section, again you can use it. Okay, so you can use different equations to calculate these things. Okay. So these procedures already you have studied in your mass answer operations. Okay, so anyway we will concentrate more on design part. So here you once you know all these values, So here the number of theoretical stages required for separation is also given. Okay. So what is other equation that you can use to calculate the number of stages?
Panchin-Severet method, sir.
That's method. Fensky equation have you come across?
For minimum
Yeah.
number of trace steps.
So you should know the limitation of this equation when you have to use this equation. So total condenser you have to use it. Okay, so you cannot use all the equation. So you should know the limitation of those equations and accordingly you can use it. Okay. So now we move to the problem. So this I request you all please go through these minimum requirements, that is to calculate the number of theoretical stages required for desired separation. Okay, so here it is given 25 stages. Anyway, we no need to use no need to go for these things. So even in design problem, so you no need to solve up to this point number of stages. So our ultimate course objective is that how to design a column. Okay, so these things you might have studied in your mass transfer. Okay, so here your average molar mass feed rate you have to calculate M average, that is sigma xi into mi. So this is your molar fraction of acetic acid and water. So this molar mass of acetic acid and water, this mole fraction of your acetic acid and water. So the average molecular mass of feed is 40.911 kg per kilomole, that you can calculate. So the molar feed rate is 12,000. I think here it's not given. Okay, so design a sieve tray column for distillation of system of 12,000 kgs. Okay, 12,000 kgs per hour. Okay, this is the problem. Okay, so molar feed rate you can calculate. So make a material balance, that is F is equal to D plus W, that is overall material balance. This is component balance. So you can calculate D and W from these two equations. Okay, so your distill D is 143.29 kilomoles per hour. W is 150.03 kilomoles per hour. Okay. So next you can calculate L and V, that is molar flow rates of vapor and liquid at the top in enriching section. That is L is equal to RD. So R is 4.2 into D distillate, that is 143.29 kilomoles. So you can calculate the L. Then V is R plus 1 into D. So R is reflux ratio, that is actual reflux ratio is 4.2. 4.2 plus 1 into D, 5.2. So you have this kilomoles per hour. Okay. So then molar flow rates of vapor and liquid in stripping section you can calculate, that is L dash. Normally stripping section is represented by L dash and V dash. So L dash is equal to L plus F into Q. V dash is F into Q minus 1 plus V. Okay. So these things you might have studied in mass transfer, how you are getting these equations. Okay. So this L here it is 601 in the enriching section. Stripping section it is 974.92. Then molar flow rate of vapor in the enriching section is 745, and in stripping section it is around 824.89 kilomoles per hour. Okay. Now we move to tower diameter calculation. So to calculate the tower diameter we need all these things, because we have to calculate flow parameter and capacity parameter. Okay. So flow parameter is nothing but FLV, that is equal to L by G root of rho G by rho V. Okay, that's the equation. So this is the equation flow factor, that is LW by VW rho V by rho L root of rho V by rho L. This is the equation. So you need LW VW. Okay. First we are going to top. Okay. So the operating pressure at the top of the column is 1 atmospheric pressure. V and L we have calculated 601.8 and 745.1. Okay. Okay, vapor and liquid flow rate is being calculated in terms of kilomoles. Okay, so here the total condenser is used, hence the composition of vapor leaving the topmost tray and composition of liquid entering the topmost tray are equal. This is the condition for your total condenser. Okay, so LW by VW you have, so calculate this LW by VW. Then you should know the value of density of vapor, because that's the equation, no? So LW by VW root of rho V by rho L. Okay. So this is LM, where LM and VM are mass flow rates. This is mass flow rates, kgs per second actually. Okay. So rho V you can calculate PM by RT. So M average you can calculate at the top. Okay. Similarly, rho V you can calculate. That is P is 1 atmospheric pressure. M average we have calculated 20.9316. Then R value you know, that is 273 by 22.414. Okay, so atmospheric pressure will cancel. Okay, so the T value you have to convert in terms of Kelvin. Okay, so then you can find out the rho V. To find the temperature of vapor at the top, you have to use the TXY diagram. Okay, TXY diagram, put Y equal to XD. This is the condition for total condenser. Okay, the composition of vapor leaving topmost tray is composition of liquid entering the topmost tray, that is reflux. Both are equal. Okay, Y equal to, you can say XD, that's the point. Okay, so using this, so corresponding value you can calculate TT, that is 100.64 degrees centigrade. So substitute this TT 100.64 here, calculate the density of the vapor. Okay, so density of the liquid rho L is 1 by Wi by rho I. So density of pure water at this 100.64 degrees centigrade, you can refer Perry or any handbook to find out the properties. Then density of pure acetic acid is 1010 kg per meter cube. Mass fraction of water in distillate is 0.8, acetic acid is 0.2. So this you can easily calculate the rho L. So rho V is known, rho L is known, LW by VW is known. Substitute everything. So this is 0.8077 into rho V. Rho V is 0.6823, rho L is 967.97 root. So this is the FL. So now first trail calculation, we have to select the tray spacing 0.3 meters. That is being the assumed value. Okay. So now you have used the Schroeder-Brown equation. So flow parameter is known, that is 0.02. Okay, 0.02. Then you have tray spacing 0.3 meters. Here you can hit it. And corresponding value CSB you can find out, that is around 0.0635. Okay, so this value is equal to CF value, you know. So flooding velocity equation VF is CF times of sigma by 0.02 power 0.2 rho L minus rho V by rho V power 0.5. So sigma you have to find out, that is surface tension of the system, 55.55 into 10 power minus 3 Newton per meter. Okay, so calculate the flooding velocity. Flooding velocity will be 2.93 meters per second. Okay, so now you have to take the actual vapor velocity through the tower, that is 0.58 times of vapor velocity. So that is 2.93 into 0.85, that is 2.4. So volumetric flow rate of vapor at the top you have to calculate. V you know, V value is 745.108 kilomoles. Molecular weight we have calculated, that is 20.93. Then density of vapor we know, that is 0.68. Okay, so this is the flow rate in meter cube per second. Okay, so net area you can calculate, that is 6.3496 by your velocity. Okay, so your A net is Q by V, that is 6.3496. This is meter cube per second. This is meter per second. So you will get the cross sectional area, that is 2.55 meter square. So downcomer area, you can select 12% of your cross sectional area. So you can calculate the AC value. So this is net area. Here you have to calculate the AC value. AC is 2.55. That is being calculated net area. So here your AD is 0.12 times of AC. So 0.88 times of AC. So AC is 2.55 divided by 0.8. That is approximately 2.9 meter square. So inside diameter of the column at the top you can calculate, because this is equal to pi by 4 d square. Okay. So 4 into AC by 5, you can calculate, that is 1.92 meter. You can convert nearest, or you can say it's 2 meter. Okay, what I mean. So this is the way to calculate the column diameter. Okay. So similarly, you have to find out the tower diameter required at the bottom. Okay. So the procedure is slightly different here. So the operating pressure at the bottom of the column is operating pressure at the top. Here we fix 1 atmospheric pressure plus delta P tray. Delta P total, that is total pressure drop in the column. That's why you are calculating this. Okay. So delta PT is total pressure drop in the seal tray tower. You can assume that as 120 mm of water column. Okay. So this is in terms of mm of water column. So total is number of trays into rho W G into HT. Okay. So assuming tray efficiency 0.5. So the number of trays is given, equilibrium minimum stages given 25 by 5, 0.5 is 50. So 50 into 1000 into 9.81 into 120 into 10 power minus 3. This is mm of water column. So the water density you can take. So this is the pressure drop in the column. So the operating pressure at the base will be 1 plus 101.325 plus 58.86 kilopascal. It's around 1.58 atmospheric pressure. So now you can select the Antoine's equation of acetic acid. Substitute this pressure here in terms of torque, okay, or whatever the unit that you require, okay. So as per the unit requirements of this Antoine's equation, you can substitute. So this is the temperature at the bottom. So 134.26. Top you have 100 degrees centigrade, bottom you have 134.26 degrees centigrade. So molar flow rates at the liquid and vapor at the bottom, you know. So at the base L by V you can calculate, that is 1.182. Okay, so the density of vapor at the bottom, rho V is, you can calculate as like what we have done earlier case. So density of acetic acid at 134 point, you know, that is 1000 kg per meter cube. Okay, almost, because at the top it's 1010. Here you can make it as 1000. Okay, so again calculate this flow factor. FLB L by V root of rho V by rho L power 0.5. Okay, so calculate FLB. Then for this FLB, for the selected tray spacing, okay, so the tray spacing is 0.3, you can calculate the CF value. Okay, so here one more method they are using to calculate this surface tension of acetic acid. Okay, so P is called Parakar constants. This is another method that you can use. Okay, sigma AA power 1 for. So you can refer CR volume 6. Okay, so I think chapter number 5 you can select how to calculate the liquid properties, surface tension, viscosity, latent heat. Okay, so already we have used Watson equation, how to calculate the latent heat. Okay, similarly this is another way to calculate the surface tension of acetic acid using Parakar constant, where this is Parakar constant. Okay, so sigma AA power 1 by 4 is equal to Parakar constant, rho L dash, that is rho L dash minus rho V dash, rho L dash minus rho V dash. Okay, so rho L dash you can calculate in terms of moles per centimeter cube, that you have to substitute. V also it has to be substituted in moles per centimeter cube. Okay, so sigma AAA you can calculate, that is 21.34 in 10 power minus 3 Newton per meter. So you can calculate the flooding velocity, that is 1.17 meter per second. Actual vapor velocity you can take 0.85 times of flooding velocity, then calculate Q, then calculate the net area. Okay, so once you know the net area, calculate the cross sectional area, that is 5.538. Okay, then diameter, so this is 2.655. previously we had 1.95 meters, correct? See, 1.92 meters, so 1.95 mark. Here you see the difference. So the bottom for the tray up to 1 meter we will go for 0.3 meters raise spacing is sufficient. That is the general thumb rule. But here our diameter is more than 1 meter. So second trial you have to select 0.45 meter. So if you select 0.54 meter, then your column diameter calculation is different. So at the top you have to say find out new value of CF, then calculate the flooding velocity, then calculate actual velocity, calculate the net area, calculate the cross sectional area, and calculate the diameter, that is 1.7 meter. Now you see the difference. If you increase the tray spacing, your column diameter will come down. Similarly, you have to do this at the bottom. Okay, so here for higher 0.45, here you are getting 2.36 meters. The same procedure. So now you understand the relationship between tray spacing and column diameter. This is the way. Okay. So this is the procedure to calculate. Once you know the column diameter, next you can calculate other things. This you can calculate this enriching section, stripping section areas. Okay. So diameter you calculated 1.7 meter. Then column cross sectional area is 2.27 meter square. The net area is 1.998 meter square. Downcomer area is 0.12 times of this cross sectional area, that is 0.2724 meter square. Then active area is 1.7252, 2 times you have to subtract. So net area is AC minus AD. So here this active area is AC minus 2 times of AD. Okay, so whole area is approximately 10% of your active area. Okay, 10% of your AH is approximately 10. That is the condition we are using when you use this Farren-Matthews method or Soder-Brown's method. Okay. Similarly, the same thing you can calculate in stripping section. Okay. So first trial we are selecting the whole area is 10% of active area. That's the first. Okay. Next point is we have to check for VP. Okay. So now you can select how many number of whether you want to go for single pass tray or multi-pass trays. That based on the flow rate QL, you can decide that. That is L into M average by rho L. Okay. In stripping section and enriching section, you have to calculate. So in enriching section, volumetric flow rate of liquid is 3.6 in 10 power minus 3 meter cube per second. Then stripping section, it is around 16.25 into 10 power minus 3 meter cube per second. So it's enough. We can have a single pass tray. Okay, using this. Okay. So the next point is we have to check for weeping. So the weeping equation is K minus 0.9 times of 25.4 minus DH by root of rho V. Okay. So we have to obtain the value of K. Okay, from this figure. So here you have HW plus HOW. Kindly refer as CR volume 6. Okay. So HW plus HOW have to calculate. So wear height again you can select 50 mm because this is sieve tray, no? So sieve tray means we can go for 25 or 25.4 mm to 50 mm or 25 mm to 50 mm that you can select. Okay, so this case you can select hole diameter. You can go from 1 mm to 25 mm. 4 to 6 mm is the optimum, so you can select 5 mm hole diameter. Okay, so this is being selected for all the sections. Plate thickness, you can select TP by DH, thickness of the plate, to diameter of the hole. It can be you can select 0.4 to 0.7. So this case you can select approximately equal. Okay, so 5 mm thickness of the plate, 5 mm. So HW plus HOW, only unknown is HOW. So to calculate the value of K, we need HW and HOW. So you have to calculate the HOW. Okay, so that is the liquid crust over the wear plate. Amount of liquid wear plate we have. So the minimum amount of liquid that can be maintained in the tray is HW. Okay, but practically the liquid has to flow from one tray to another tray. So here this is your downcomer, this is your wear plate. Okay, so the liquid will go. So this is your HOW. Okay, HOW, you can use this equation. So 70% of turn down you have to use. Okay, minimum value of HOW at 70% turn down must be determined. Okay, so LW is 0.7 times of LM average. Okay, so this at the top you can have the liquid flow rate and molecular mass. So calculate LW, rho L you know, AD by AC is 0.12. Corresponding value of LW by D is 0.77. So the length of the wear is 0.77 D. So diameter is 1.7 meter. So LW is 0.77 into 1.7, that is 1.309. Okay. So LW you know, rho L you know, LM is 0.7 times. That's being used for turn down. The turn down means we know that is the maximum or you can say design flow rate to the minimum flow rate. Okay, here you have used 0.7. Okay, so the minimum HOW you can calculate, that's around 11.64 mm. So at minimum rate HW plus HOW will be 61.64 meter. So corresponding K value you can calculate from the chart. Here you have 61, no, 61 or 62. So corresponding value you can find out, that's around 30 plus. So 30.38. Okay. So substitute here, find out the VH minimum. Hole velocity is 14.552 meters per second. Okay. So actual vapor velocity through the holes you have to calculate. Again, there also you have to use 0.7 turn down ratio. Okay. So this is the whole area, that is 10% of your active area. So 0.7 into QV. Okay. So this whole actual velocity is greater than your VH minimum. VH minimum is 14.6. Here you have 25.8. So your vapor velocity through the hole is higher than the actual velocity. Minimum weeping velocity. Okay. So this is the way to calculate the weeping condition at enriching section. Similarly, for stripping section, you have to do take the turn down ratio, that is 0.5, okay, 0.7, okay, 0.8 also you can do that. Okay, so the minimum LW you have to calculate. LW you can use LW by D is 0.77. So calculate the HOW. Okay, then calculate the K value. VH minimum here 7.32. You have to see here that the whole area is different at the top of the enriching section and bottom of the enriching section. Correct? So here it is different, 0.33. Here it is 0.17, almost half. Okay. So you have to see this difference and how to, what are all the flow rates that has to be used in the equations properly. Okay. So here you have to multiply 0.7 both the cases. That's very, very important. Turn down ratio you have to use. Okay. So VH minimum then VH actual you have to calculate. So here the difference is huge at the top, but here the difference is, see, because here the LWE is you can see 2.45 kgs per second, but here you have 11.34. So in stripping section the liquid velocity is very high, 5 times, almost 4 times. Okay, so again you have to check this condition. So the minimum hole velocity is 7.32 meters per second. The actual hole velocity is 10.2054 meters per second. Okay. So here you have to use hole area, that's the important. So both the sections, the minimum operating rate is above the V point, that is verified. Then you have to calculate the pressure drop. Enriching section you have to calculate the pressure drop. First we have to calculate the dry plate pressure drop. Okay, so we know that it has 3 components: dry plate pressure drop, then residual pressure drop, and then HW plus HOW. That is the third terminology. Okay, HW is another one. Okay, so HD you have to calculate. Here you have to calculate the RE phase coefficient C0. Okay, so VH is QV by AH, that is 36.8 meter per second. Here you are selecting not based on this turn down ratio. So for weeping velocity you have to select the liquid velocity. For here you have to use the vapor velocity, QV by AH. That is 6.3496. I think that we have calculated already. Yeah. During tower diameter calculation we have done it. This is your V. So this 6.3496 meter per second. Q is Vm by rho V, so that you know how to calculate. Okay. So calculate the hole velocity QV by AH, that is 6.8 meter per second maximum, because we didn't multiply it by turn down ratio. Density of vapor, you know, density of liquid, you know. So here you have for TP by DH, hole diameter DH, TP by DH equal to 1, and AH by AP, hole area to perforated area or active area, you can say both are equal almost. Okay, 0.1. So C0 you have to calculate. C0 value you have to calculate. Okay. So normally what will happen, this perforated area is slightly less than active area, but we will assume they are approximately equal. Okay. So AD is HD you have to calculate. C0 coefficient, RE phase coefficient, that is 0.84. Okay. So 51 velocity you have substitute C0 square rho V by rho L. So you can calculate mm of liquid column. 68.64 mm of liquid column. This is HW you can calculate. HW is wear height that we have selected, correct? 50 mm. 50 mm of liquid column. Then maximum height of liquid crust over the wear plate, HOW you have to calculate. That is 750 into LW by rho L, LW power 2 by 3. Okay, so that is 14.77 mm liquid column. Okay, so the residual pressure drop you have to calculate, that is you have to assume 12.5 mm. Okay, so HR you can calculate. The total tray pressure drop is HD. HD is 68.64. Then HW plus HOW. So this is for dispersion, pressure drop due to vapor liquid dispersion. That is 50 plus 14.76. HR is 12.9. So totally you have 146.32 mm of liquid column. Okay, so this is equivalent to 142 mm of water column. Just you can convert. This is liquid column, acetic acid maybe. Okay, so you have to convert equivalent. That is 1010, I think. Density of acetic acid is 1010. So 146.32 divided by 1000, right? So almost you will get 142. Okay, equivalent water column is 142. Okay, you can convert. Okay, so treat Rebusov assume to 120 mm water column to estimate the base pressure. Okay, so the we have what is the value that we have used earlier, bottom section 120 mm we have used, correct? Yeah. So we have assumed this also you can cross verify at this point. So as per this calculation, it's 142 mm, but we have used 120 mm. So this again the calculations should be repeated. Okay, because if the physical properties are different for this point. Okay, so this is the way. So for this pressure drop, you have to take and you have to calculate the base temperature accordingly. Then stripping section, we have to calculate the whole velocity. This is based on your QV. Okay, so don't confuse with QL. This is you have to take QV. So density of vapor, density of liquid, RE phase coefficient, HD you calculate, HW we know, HOW you have to calculate for the new value, that is 32.31. Then HR you can take 12.5 mm. So totally it's 138.17 mm. Okay, that is approximately 140 mm liquid column. Okay, so now we have done these things. We have verified this also. So now next we have to do the downcomer design. So downcomer design means now you have to do for enriching section and also stripping section. So you have to calculate the HDC. So HDC is 166 times of LMD by rho L AM power 2. Okay, so this AM you have to calculate. LMD is liquid flow rate through the downcomer. That is L into M average, that we know how to calculate. This is molecular mass, average molecular mass. This is stripping section liquid flow rate. Okay, so rho L you know. AM is mean area, that is AD or AP, whichever is smaller that you have to take. So AD we know that is 0.12 times of cross sectional area. For enriching section it is 0.2724 meter square. Then AP, apron area, that AP is HAP into LW. Okay, so LW we know length of the wire plate, that is 0.77 times of diameter of the column, so that's 1.309 meter. So HAP is HW minus 10, 40 mm you can take. So this AAP is 0.04 into 1.309, that is 0.05236 meter square. Here it is 0.27. So your AM is whichever is smaller in AD and AP. AAP. Okay, apron area. So bottom you have this is your apron plate, correct? So this gap will give the area for flow. So this is your downcomer area. So you have to see this area and this area available for flow. These both are available for liquid flow, correct? So liquid will flow like this. Here liquid will flow like this. You have to check the area of these two and whichever is the minimum that you have to take. So AAP is smaller, so you have to take AAP. So AM is 0.05236 meter square. Then substitute in this equation. HDC you can calculate, that's approximately 1 mm. Downcomer is HDC, this pressure drop in downcomer is almost 1 mm. Okay, so HB liquid backup in downcomer is HW plus HOW plus this total HD and HDC. Okay, so HW is 50 mm, HOW you can calculate, that is being calculated already for enriching section, that is 14.77 mm. Then HT is 144.25 mm, HDC 1 mm. So this is 210 mm. So now you have to verify this point. This LW, LT plus HW by 2 should be less than or equal to your HB. So HB is 210 mm, LT plus HW by 2, 450 plus 50 by 2 is 250 mm. Okay, so this condition also satisfied. So downcomer area and tray spacing are acceptable. Okay, Next, you have to check the residence time. That is theta R is how will you calculate? Volumetric flow rate divided by volume. Sorry, volume of a downcomer divided by volumetric flow rate. This is volume of downcomer by volumetric flow rate in the downcomer. Okay, this is area into HBC. This is your volume. Okay, so this LMD by rho L, that is the volumetric flow rate. Okay, so this is in kg per second. So rho is kg per meter cube. Okay, so you will get meter cube per second. This is meter cube. So you will get 1 by into second. So this is approximately you are getting HBC is equal to HB, that you have to take here. HBC is HB, that is one of the important point here. So your residence time is 15.82 seconds, that is greater than 3 seconds. So it's satisfactory. Similarly, you have to go for stripping section, calculate HDC, then select the minimum one. So again, this AM is your apron area is the minimum. Then calculate the liquid backup HB, that is HW plus HOW plus HT plus HDC, that is 230. Okay, so LW by D here it's again smaller than your LT plus HW by 2. Okay, so residence time you select 7.45 seconds, that is greater than 3 seconds. It's being calculated. So downcomer design also designed that. Next thing is that we have to go for entrainment. Okay, so vapor velocity based on net area, that is Q by AN, we have to calculate 3.178. So percentage flooding is V net by VF, that is 3.178 by 3.756, 85% flooding. So now we know the value of this flow parameter. Okay, so you can use the chart, that is FLV versus percentage flooding. Here 85% you can hit sieve tray column, calculate the fraction entrainment. Okay, that is 21%, that is greater than 10%. So the psi is less, then higher tray efficiency is obtained. But here the value of entrainment, fractional entrainment is 0.21. Okay, so what we should do? We have to increase the tower diameter, and only it has to be reduced. Similarly, for stripping section, the value is 0.084, that is less than 0.1. Okay, so this is the complete design problem of distillation column. Similarly, you can try it for absorption also. So I give one problem in absorption column as assignment. Okay, so you can follow the same steps and you can solve it. Okay, so absorption problem I upload in the assignment section. So after Deepavali you can submit. You have any doubt here in the design? So this is the complete design. I hope you got the point. If you have any doubts, please ask. Mansinath?
Sir, yes, sir.
Any doubt in the design part?
Sir, I don't think no doubt, sir. We can continue, sir.
So, Anshinath, I upload one assignment. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You can use this problem. Okay, or you can refer CR volume 6. Okay, and you can solve the problem. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So, deadline when we can keep, Anshinath?
Sir, after Diwali, sir. After Diwali, the next week Sunday, sir. Maybe next Monday.
Next Monday means you mean date is today is 8th.
Yes, sir. We can give it on. You can give the deadline on 8th, sir.
Okay, Ansinath. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks.
So shall we wind up at this point? Next class.
Sir, okay, sir. Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Next class we can see the design of packed columns. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.